What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good today. Hopefully we're gonna have a good stream today. Well, what do we have here? Don't forget, hit that like button, guys. We got like 25 people in here. Let's see if we can get them likes up. You know, we like to start off strong. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Sadu with the number one again. Welcome back to number one. What's up? Number two, cool. I guess who's back? Hey, Rick. Missed your daily streams. Need 2020 daily to get to bed. Yeah, I try to do every day, but if it's really slow, I take that opportunity to get. Oh, thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. If it's really slow, I take that opportunity to take some much needed time. I'm not wearing one of my shirts today. T-shirt reveal would just be a basic black t-shirt. I just didn't have... I threw them all in the wash because I want to continue testing how they hold up over time, even though they weren't dirty. So I don't have one on me right now. Are we officially in a bull run or still unsure? If this run continues, what's a good exit point on Bitcoin, Doge, ETH? We're still in a bull run, but we're having some problems here. And they're mostly due to the government. And we'll talk about that in a moment. You've seen the title, so you probably know where I'm going. What's going on, Josh? Plan B stock to flow model? No, not familiar. 100K by Xmas. What are my thoughts? We should be hitting 100,000 by Christmas. The whole bear run thing that we had here is what slowed us down. But as long as we can get back on target, pop back up to 60, 65, 70,000, we can still hit it. I think it's still possible. We just need to get on with it. Time is running out. If you're talking about like the flow chart for Bitcoin price predictions as time goes on over the next couple years, if that's what you meant, I forgot the name of it, but yes, that would be it. I am familiar. Basically what it does, it just factors in the amount of Bitcoin that, you know, is supplied, how the price tends to go up over time, being that it's deflationary, the halving events, how it gets more difficult to mine over time, and it does the price predictions by then, and it's followed it pretty close. It's pretty much the simplest way I can describe it. Finally seeing some movement on Doge. Hope it continues. Yeah, we saw some nice movement here. We sure did. And now we're seeing a bit of a sell-off due to some unfortunate events here in the news. Have they done their vote? They have not done... I don't think they've done the final official vote. But they had the hearing today where they all kind of discussed things. And maybe that was it, guys. I'm not super familiar with these political events. But I'll just tell you what we watched. Manipulating the market. Follow Plan B on Twitter. Okay, I'll check it out. What's up, El Bash? What's going on, Mr. Samir? Yehoiakim. Where do I think we're headed? There's a good question. Juan, what's going on? So, guys, in case you're not aware, the Senate had... One moment. The Senate had their hearing today. And in that hearing, what they were discussing was the infrastructure bill. In the infrastructure bill, and why this is important to us in cryptocurrency, in that infrastructure bill was a bill to regulate crypto. So, obviously, infrastructure, you can just tell by the name of it, it probably had nothing to do with cryptocurrency, and if that was your assumption, you're correct. The bill had nothing to do with crypto. Think of it as like a bit of a stimulus to just a general stimulus package, not one that you would be getting in your mail, not one that you would see, not the everyday person, more for businesses, highways, you know, transportation, fixing potholes, that kind of thing. Larger scale stuff that needs to be done, you know, military funding, healthcare, all this other stuff, not for the everyday person. And in that bill, they said, and actually, well, we've been needing to regulate cryptocurrency, so let's go ahead and just throw that in. So you've got all of these unrelated things in the bill, and then you've got the cryptocurrency portion that they just threw in there. Now, I will say I've wanted to go short right now, really, really bad. But stinking Ethereum, the transaction fees right now are $138 for the miner's fee. Oh, it's really frustrating. If it keeps up like that, some of the other competition's just going to catch up by default, because that's unacceptable. I can't sell without paying $138 to the miners. Come on now. EIP 1559 did nothing. Anyway, so that's the problem. Now we've got the crypto regulation bill tied into the infrastructure bill, and you know how hard it is to get people, in the Senate and whatnot to agree on passing multi-trillion-dollar bills. Just like what happened with the stimulus, how it kept going back and forth, and rejection from the Republicans, rejection from the Democrats, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. None of them really ever agree. It takes forever to come to an agreement. So, of course, that was happening kind of today, but then it got, we have the crypto regulations portion tacked in there for whatever reason. And so they got to that portion. And basically what ended up happening was you had a couple obviously technical literate senators come up and started pleading the case, saying the way this regulation was originally put together, it's obvious that it made no sense. It's obvious that it wasn't well thought out. We're trying to put in law that people that have nothing to do with the actual transaction handling or anything should be viewed as brokers and provide transaction reports back to the government. So you know how your exchange ends up reporting each buy and sell that you do and everything, and when you get your tax form, you can see all those listed. They're basically saying in the regulation, the original proposal, that people that develop blockchain software, so developers and miners, should also be classified as brokers. So if I decided to build a DeFi app, I should be responsible, just as a developer, for reporting your transactions through my app back. Not only that, and just as a developer, I'm not saying as the program, just as a blockchain developer. On top of that, if I'm a miner or just a validator, so that means if you are on a proof of stake network and you are a validator because you've staked, since you're authorizing transactions, the government's expecting you to provide a transaction report. When you know you have no hands-on and all your computer's doing is running in the background doing these calculations and stuff. So it just didn't, it doesn't make sense. And so that's why the Senate was like, come on, we know this doesn't make sense. We know this was put together kind of hastily, not well thought out. The verbiage here could single-handedly end cryptocurrency. And not only that, not just end the crypto bull run or whatever, but it can destroy billions of dollars worth of people's livelihood in the US, as they're no longer allowed to really interact with crypto, because that means you can't be a validator on a network anymore, because it's impossible to report transactions. So by US regulation, if you're a validator and you're required to be, if you're a validator, report transactions, and you can't report any transactions because it's not possible, you can't be a validator, or else you're breaking the law. It's like saying you can't own a home unless you can fly. It's like, well, humans can't fly. Well, guess you can't own a house. It just doesn't. It's not possible. It doesn't make sense. So that's basically what that was, and they're trying to amend that. And some very technical, literate, you could tell, senators got up there and they're just like, well, President, it's obvious this was thrown together too quickly. If you know anything about cryptocurrency, you know that the miners and validators cannot possibly provide a report of transactions. They are not brokers, whatever. So you had 5-10 different people say the same thing. Then it came down to a bit of a vote on the amendment portion, and somebody, from what I could see, because I was working at the same time I was trying to watch this, one of the people were mad basically about something else in the actual infrastructure bill, and so because that change didn't get made, they voted no for the amendment. So it's basically like, well, you're not going to do my thing for the infrastructure bill, then I'm going to vote no for the regulations, and we're just going to screw over cryptocurrency because I'm mad. So that's basically what ended up happening. As soon as that happened, that's when this sell-off started right here, and it is still going. So that's not good news, guys. Now, here's the thing. I think if you're at this point wondering, and I'm sure the comments are blowing up right now a bit. Yes, there they go. So what do I think is really going to happen? I think it's obvious. I want to say it's obvious. I think it's reasonable to say that the regulation bill is not going to go through as is. People will continue to vote no, knowing that the cryptocurrency portion of it is not correct. That's my opinion. So one of two things are going to happen. They're going to either keep going back and forth and then all agree, all right, well, we want to get this infrastructure thing passed. So let's just kick the crypto part out of it and we'll deal with that later, and let's pass the infrastructure bill solo because we can't come to an agreement on regulation of crypto. Or they're going to figure it out. Because as many smart people that are up there and understand blockchain technology, as many people who are advocates, I just feel like they're going to vote no overall, over and over and over again, just because of the cryptocurrency portion, because it doesn't make sense. Now, here's what I've been saying, guys, over the last couple months, or I'll just say over like the last couple weeks. My concern has always been that if the government does not like cryptocurrency, if you guys remember what I kept saying, that they would figure out a way to get rid of it by cracking down on the tax portion of it. What way can we make it, if not impossible, very undesirable to interact with cryptocurrency? I said it would either be making it very hard to use with excessive regulation, or it would be by making it not worth it to use with excessive taxes. And here they go. Sure enough, they took the tax route. They're trying to, and the whole purpose of this regulation, by the way, guys, is for them to make sure that they can capitalize on additional taxes. And they're expecting that they can get like, what was it, $38 billion in extra tax revenue by forcing these regulations. So here they go with the tax push. But on top of that, in the proposal, they're also making it nearly impossible to use by banning you from being a staker or a proof of work miner, basically, because they're saying you have to report transactions back to them, and it's literally not possible. That's the whole purpose of the way this whole decentralized thing goes, because to report transactions back, what they want is a transaction report. So that means buy, sell, who did it, like information on you, a person's transaction report. So what's your name? Like, what's your address? What's your social? Like, who was this person and what was their transaction? As a miner, you don't have access to that stuff. All you get is a series of numbers and on your computer running in the background, validating transactions. That's it. Your computer and mining rig does not care about who did it. It is just to secure and verify the legitimacy of transactions. So it's physically impossible. So what I think is going to happen is, well, we already start to see a bit of a sell-off. The longer this delays, there might be some more sell-off, but I think everyone could probably understand that it's very unlikely that bill does actually get passed without an amendment to the crypto portion, or at least the crypto portion being kicked out until later. So I do think this bear run that we're going to have, or had, or are having, I don't know exactly when it's going to stop. I do think it's going to be temporary, because I think everyone's probably thinking the same thing. Like, there's no way they're going to pass the bill as is. So I think an amendment should be expected. So but is this the beginning of the end? Like, what does this really mean? Well, the thing is, if they pass the bill as is, because we don't know, right? We're just guessing. We don't know for sure what's going to happen. I can say and tell you guys all day that it doesn't make sense for it to go through, so it probably won't. But that does not change anything. Who knows what they'll do? If they, for some reason, got a majority vote and were to let it slide and go through as is, cryptocurrency is going to be messed up for a while, because that's going to basically eliminate all Bitcoin mining, all Ethereum mining, all Dogecoin mining, all whatever mining in the United States. It's going to become illegal to do so, because you cannot follow the regulation, because it's impossible to follow. And that means that, similar to the thing that happened with China, where when China cracked down and basically said no mining now, you can't even mine crypto. You know what happened then? the crypto market tanked even harder because that was bad news. But then those guys relocated, figured out a new place to start mining from, and you start to see the recovery. So we would probably see crypto tank even harder because, in my opinion, just from my understanding, the United States, when it comes to financials and the support of crypto, especially things like Dogecoin, Bitcoin, is the largest. So if you're kicking out all of the mining companies in the US and all the validators, all the proof of stake people that are staking, you're basically destroying crypto as we know it in the United States. So everyone's going to have to stop. And so I think cryptocurrency as a whole is going to tank harder than we've seen it tank. And I'm talking Bitcoin. If as long as there's no new information after that announcement's made, you could see Bitcoin down to like teens. You know, it could be very, very bad. Think of it as like a pandemic again, but just for the crypto space. You saw when Bitcoin like a year and a half ago was down to $4,000. It can happen. It would be extreme, but that's also extremely bad news. And what that's going to do too is really mess up the crypto game as far as all of our catalysts are concerned. So we're thinking Bitcoin back for Tesla. We're thinking Dogecoin for Tesla. The question is not going to be when Doge for Tesla. It's going to be when Doge again. Like when is Doge going to be able to live and breathe again? Because crypto is going to be dead for a portion of time until things can get figured out. So that would be absolutely horrific news in my opinion, and like could spark one of the biggest market crashes in crypto that we've seen yet. So let's hope that does not happen. But like I said, I think that is unlikely. But that fear could be enough to keep Bitcoin from doing what it maybe wanted to do here. Because we see that Bitcoin was getting up there. Bitcoin just hit 46.5 here and did a bit of a double top. It was really trying. Now it was up here and it started to curl down as they got into the cryptocurrency discussion. And then once bad news hit, it steeply sold off a couple grand. But yeah, it's just not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. But we'll see. This was obviously some fear, but I think what's worth noting is the fact that we didn't crash as hard as we could have. And that should just tell you that there is still some confidence in the market. And we might even see a bit of a pullback right back to where we came from, and maybe just some more continuation. As today was the big fearful event, and now it's out of the way. You know how it's a buy the rumor, sell the news? Well, it was kind of sell the rumor, and now it was an overreaction, and now buy the news, since it was in the other direction. Basically, the whole concept of that is overreaction, correction. Overreaction, correction. That's basically what I'm saying. We'll see. At the same time, though, we're at the 200 EMA, so we'll have to see if we even get to the top side of that again. But nice bounce back. Maybe I'm glad Ethereum didn't let me buy my put. I don't know. We'll just say thank you. Thank you, gas fees. Hey, thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, very bad deal. Yeah, look at that. Cool. So we're bouncing back, guys. Yeah, it only dropped. It was here 46. It dropped down to 44.8. So it dropped about 2 grand. Not too bad. Not too bad. It was looking very bad there for a second. But I think people... Now, here's the thing. We are still in a downtrend here. So let's not just say it's recovering yet. We don't want to say it's over till it's over. Because this could just stall out here at the 200 EMA or something, or do a loop back around. But it's doing way better than it could have been doing. And I think we could recover back here and at least start trading sideways again. So that's good. A lot of fear came out of the market here, and we're probably seeing some more confident people back in here. Because if you watch the event all the way through, you would have heard just the seriousness of some of the senators and like the deep understanding that this was just a terrible idea and doesn't make any sense. Because it was like a miswording. But if their goal was really to screw over crypto, yeah, just pass the bill with the miswording and make it literally impossible to mine crypto. So there's that. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Well, that's a great word. I forgot about that, James. Thanks for bringing that back. Who said that again? I can't remember what event that was from. That wasn't Vitalik, was it? Anti-disestablishmentarianism. It's a great word. 38 mil whale short Bitcoin just placed. Interesting. My views on internet computer. It's doing great, which is cool. But from just some of the videos I watched on it, it just doesn't seem like a good idea. It seems like it could be a successful project for people that don't really want to be in the decentralized space. But the whole purpose of internet computer is to be a decentralized internet. And what's the purpose of a decentralized internet if you also must tie every action and everything you do on that decentralized internet specifically to your identity? So that's why I just don't know how that one's really going to play out in the end, which is why I haven't bought in. But it's been having some great gains. So as a trading play, sure. But as a long-term hold for me, it's not something that makes sense for me to invest in. So for that reason, I'm out. Shark Tank reference. Don't worry, Bitcoin Lightning's coming. Good. Yes, hit that like button. Thank you, guys. We've got like 60 viewers, guys. I think we can get some more likes, can't we? Appreciate you. If you do decide to hit that button, thank you. How is Alchemy doing? An AMP? Well, let's check on it. All right, I've got Alchemy up right now. So I sold my Alchemy pay, guys. I did. What ended up happening, we got all excited about it on stream, right? And it was somewhere like right here about 15. I went ahead, bought in, and I was pretty foolish. I saw it go up to like 18, and I'm like, ooh, okay, cool. We're at 17 cents. And then I stopped looking at it. Not very smart. Never buy at a point where you don't know exactly what's going to happen next. If you are also not going to be looking at your chart. All right. Thankfully, well, I say thankfully, but it was already a calculated decision. I was in with an amount of money that I knew I wasn't really going to care about if I didn't pay attention to it and something bad happened. And I already made that clear on stream when I bought. But sure enough, I did buy in. I checked it like once every, 5-8 hours. I checked it like 8 hours later. It's up at like 16, 17. I'm like, cool. And then I accidentally went to sleep without thinking about it. And I woke up and it was at like $8. And I'm like, oh, cool. I lost half my investment. That's pretty fun. And so I didn't, 8 cents. And so I did not panic. I saw it bounce back up to like 12. And I'm like, all right. Looks like there's some volatility here. I'm just going to wait it out anyway. Next time it came back down to like 8, I went ahead and put some more money in. Like half my position, I just added more capital. And then I bought the dip so I could average down. And then I did sell somewhere around 10.5. But that was only because I saw some bad signs right here. And I didn't really like that. And I saw an opportunity to maybe short Ethereum. So I was going to buy some puts. And so I wanted that capital back. But overall, I think ACH is still fine. I am watching it stabilize here. Looks like we had the lows here and we're making higher lows overall. If you just kind of check this out right here, this overall trend. Making higher lows, kind of making higher swing highs as well. I think things are still all right. I just don't like how far we are under the 200 EMA there. So mixed feelings. But I'll wait it out. We're also getting a bit of a double bottom forming here. So if this comes up and breaks above the 200 EMA, I might buy back in and just see what happens next. But yeah, I sold at like 10.5. So if I bought back in right now, I'd be buying in half a cent cheaper. I'm just waiting it out. I'm in no rush. No, there's never a rush when you're trading, guys. Look for a good entry, one that makes you feel good and confident. That way you can go in with confidence and also with a good plan. This needs to bump up somewhere, though. We're still getting a bit of a downtrend right here. Look at Bitcoin recovering right back to 46. That's pretty good. If we make a new high, that'll be a great sign. Then you could just tell some of the fears out. Let's see if there's anyone talking about Bitcoin. Let's check Bitcoin Magazine. I like them. Yeah. Let's go ahead and just read the article real quick. Senate rejects amendment to exclude U.S. Bitcoin entities from broker designation. Tisk, tisk, tisk. See if there's anything I missed here gathered in this article. Well, it says, of note, however, is that the classification of any of these entities as brokers could still be contested even if the bill does get passed as is and overturned in U.S. courts. So I guess there is still that hope. Yeah. Shelby said he would waive his objection if the senators would tie in an unrelated amendment to increase military spending by $50 billion. Wow. So, yeah, I really think this is just going to keep going back and forth because just read this paragraph. According to Forbes, Senator Richard Shelby objected to Senator Toomey's request for unanimous consent on the amendment, which prevented the amendment from being adopted. That's because Shelby said he'd waive his objection if they would tie in $50 more billion for military spending. So what's going to end up happening, Shelby's going to stand his ground and say, I'm not voting. I'm not going to allow this unanimous consent. I'm going to vote no because I want this $50 billion in here for military spending. And then they're going to say, but this is like completely unrelated. They're just going to keep going back and forth and back and forth. And so I think that the whole crypto portion of this might even just end up getting ousted from the bill. Or maybe they'll come to agreement like 25 or 10 or something. I don't know. But because of this, they're probably just going to keep going back and forth, and this is just going to take forever. So maybe we're getting a rally because people realize they have more time. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, they're expecting that the requirements proposed will generate $28 billion in taxes over the next decade. And that's part of the reason for tying this in is because they're basically throwing money out there, and their reasoning is, well, with this crypto regulation, we can get back 28 billion of that. Crazy. Pay off military leaders? Yeah, who knows? Crazy. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about this over the next, the rest of the day into tomorrow. Don't forget, guys, if you're new to the channel, first of all, hit like, of course, if you're new to the stream. But click subscribe, of course. Click that button as well and make sure you lock the channel in. Yeah, not everyone has reacted to the news yet. Yeah, it may scare Asian markets when they wake up. Yes, it's definitely not over, and I'm not doing anything right now. Just so everybody's clear, my only play was to short earlier in the day when we were at the high. You should always have your trades planned out to the point where it might not even be close to the time and you could still start executing it. All right, I didn't need to wait till the event ended to say, oh, we are indeed selling off, so now I'm going to short. I knew what was supposed to be happening today. I knew what was probably going to happen, and so my plan was to be ready to short early and to short high so that I actually had a chance of being in profit, because it was going to be a put as well, an option. So you have to break even at a certain price. And that was only going to be here, and it would have broken even and actually made me some money here, but Ethereum gas fees for the transaction were over $100. And I bet you they still are. Let's see. Let me try and short again, and I'll just show you what they'd be charging me. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. You guys see this? Look at those prices. what bargains they're offering me. For fast, which is kind of what you'd usually go for, 45 seconds, it's just going to be only $136.71 for the miner fee. That's not actually too bad. Or I could do normal or slow, which is, oh, that's weird. Same speed and same price at a $86.30 bargain. Wow, that's almost 50% off. That's crazy. Go Ethereum. And that was off a $200 trade. I was going to be paying, okay, $233.9 was going to be the cost of my contracts. And $136 to execute that trade just for the network fee, to pay the miners to say, oh yeah, that he's actually sending money he has. That makes sense. Good thing we have EIP 1559, am I right? Good update. Good update, Vitalik. Strong one. So when would the ban on mining take place? Just whenever they pass the regulation. So that's to be determined. Which big events do we have this month? 1, Doge update. 2, CAD update. What do you mean by CAD update? Sorry if I'm just not interpreting that properly. But yeah, we've definitely got the update coming soon for Dogecoin, guys. I believe it's the update to 1.14, which is going to be packaged into 1.21. That is what Ross Nicoli, I always forget his name, the leading Dogecoin dev, he basically said the update is already done. They're just bug testing now, and then they're going to do a last review and then push it out for everybody to vote on yes or no, thumbs up or thumbs down to go live. And so I'm guessing that's going to be within about 2 weeks. So definitely want to be keeping a close eye on Dogecoin, and don't go sleep. Don't go sleeping on it. We don't have that much time left. But we also need to keep in mind what's actually going on in the world of crypto. So keeping an eye on this crypto regulation news is also going to be very important. Thank you guys for those likes. We're at 33. Appreciate those 3 people that just hit that button. Really do. Thank you. What's up? Oh, what's up, Josiah? What's going on? Chaz Mandu, what's up? Not every... Yeah, ooh, I've read some of these. I'm reading out of order. All right, let's go back into order. Senators are paid off by the banks. Yikes. What was the decision? Check the whale trade. So many people longed, like 8 whales in a row, 4 mil, 2 mil long. Yeah, I'm not surprised. They probably saw that we didn't crash, and so they just decided to buy that as a dip. I don't think people are really going to start freaking out unless we go back towards 42.5 and start selling off under that. In that case, we could probably see another couple grand go. But we held pretty well during this, all things considered. We only sold off about 1.5, 1.7K. It could have been way worse, guys. So that's not too bad. Might see some confident whales pop in. What do I think Doge will hit? It just depends on where Bitcoin goes. Doge is right here with all its volatility on deck, ready to go. It just depends on where Bitcoin decides to go. If Bitcoin crashes, Dogecoin's going down to like closer to 20 cents. If Bitcoin goes up, Dogecoin's probably going to go closer to 30. What's up, Bobby? Do I think Doge will dip down to 23 or 24? It absolutely could. Dogecoin's not even that high right now. Dogecoin is at 25. So, I mean, we're talking can it dip down 1 cent or maybe 2? Yeah, absolutely. It just really depends on what Bitcoin does here. Does Bitcoin go back down towards 42,000, 43,000? If so, that's going to be that's going to be Dogecoin at about 23 cents at Bitcoin 43-ish. So, yes, it's very likely. Oh, AMC? Bro, the reason for the surge is that AMC earnings call right now said Adam Aaron, CEO of AMC, might accept Bitcoin. Oh, that's weird timing. Good call there, man. I wonder if AMC's spiking because of that. Wow, AMC got really cheap. Right back to where it belongs, huh? $28. Wow. That's probably a good dip to buy, to be honest. When was that? On the 4th? Ah. Wow, that's crazy. That's good news for Bitcoin and for AMC. Thanks for that info, Jackie. That's why I appreciate all you guys hanging out in the stream and being and communicating that info, because I can't be everywhere at once as much as I'd love to. Well, there you go. There's a big catalyst. I guess it's a big, right? Because AMC wasn't doing so hot. So is it a big catalyst? I think it is, because AMC's been doing pretty well lately. So there's more adoption. Maybe they will want to force this thing so high to compensate for the taxes. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Whatever happens, it's going to be crazy. Hey, what's up, Roar Nation? You made it pretty early today. Too bad he's retiring and gives less craps than usual. Maybe that explains it. That's why he pushed. Shelby's biggest donations to him are from the defense firms. That's why he pushed the 50 bill in there. Yikes, yikes, yikes. What's up is my name. Bitcoin said, if you sent it, yep. Sure did. All right, and we're at the 200 EMA, guys. Decision time. Now, it looks like we got that big green candle, and this flag into the green candle off of the AMC news is now what I'm hearing. But if we get stalled out under the 200 EMA, it might not be over. Awesome. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. AMC, it looks like AMC is accepting Bitcoin now. Maybe we'll tweet about it. You guys better not be lying to me. Lose a lot of brownie points for that. I will. Has announced in their earnings call that they will be accepting. Well, let me just say accepting Bitcoin. All right. Cool. Sorry for my ignorance, but can you give me a quick rundown of the amendment and what it's being rejected means? Is that good or bad? Oh, it's definitely very bad. So yeah, I'll give you a quick rundown, and just for anyone that just popped in. So basically, there's the infrastructure bill that they were working on passing, which is like provide money for military, provide money for healthcare, provide money for roads, fixing potholes, road development, whatever, infrastructure, and funding the country and projects and everything related to that, and then making some small changes to stuff, policies, whatever, of course they talked about that too. But then they also tacked in, well, we also need to regulate crypto, I guess, so why don't we just throw that into the whole infrastructure bill and pass it all at once? The problem with that bill and the regulation portion that had to deal with crypto is the part that it was very, very poorly thought out. And obviously it was put together by someone that either didn't know what they were talking about or that really intentionally put it together that way to see the demise of crypto. Because what they did was they said, well, in this regulation for crypto, it would classify, by law, classify anyone that assists in the transaction process, in the authorization of transactions, whatever, as a broker. So that includes miners, crypto miners, that includes crypto validators, and that includes also developers. So even software developers, if they developed a program, they would also be classified as brokers, and they would be responsible for tracking all transactions that route through them or their software or whatever, and giving a full detailed transaction report on each transaction back to whatever SEC, government, whoever it would roll into for tax purposes. So for that reason, I mean, if you think about that, the way that cryptocurrency works, as a miner, if you are a miner or validator, you're never interacting with people's information. Your computer is running software, and it's set up to be a decentralized node, basically, that is just receiving data that is not tied to a person either, receiving like encrypted data, verifying that the transaction, does Becky have an account and is sending, or anonymous user 1 have an account with 25 Bitcoin in it that they're trying to send? Yes. Does this person have a legit wallet address to receive this to, and are they legit as well? Yes. Okay. Right, but there's no like names, social security number, address, personal info being exchanged. It's just transaction information. So it's physically impossible, because of the nature of cryptocurrency, for a validator or miner to even retrieve information to to send a report, or for and it's also doesn't make sense to classify a software developer as a broker. Like if I developed a DeFi platform, why should I be held responsible to report all transactions as well? I was just a developer on the project. So yeah, anyway, it would be classifying all of those different types of people, miners, validators, brokers, etc., as brokers, developers as brokers. So and the problem with that is because it's impossible, basically you're making it like illegal to participate in those activities. So you can't be a developer if you can't report transactions back. And since you can't report transactions back, you can't be a developer. Or you can't be a developer, or you can't be a miner, or you can't be a validator, which means you can't stake into a network to be a validator and get rewards. So it really just would kill cryptocurrency, a large portion of it, at least for the United States. And it would force, just like the people in China, the miners in China, as regulations cracked down there and they were forced out if they wanted to continue mining because it just was no longer legal there. It would kind of be the same thing in the US, just no longer legal to be a miner. And so if you want to mine, you have to go overseas or to another country. And so you would have seen people in Canada or people in other countries now with their mining setups. So the problem with that is, obviously, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry, just the mining now. There's companies that have been set up specifically with mining farms where their whole business is mining transactions. So you're sending all those guys out of business, basically, or forced to relocate to another country. You're making it very difficult, if not borderline illegal, to even be a staker. So let's just say you have 100 ETH and you want to get staking rewards for that. Well, if you would end up becoming a miner or a validator with your staking, that could become a problem or whatever. Anyway, just very, very bad, very, very bad. And so cryptocurrency would probably absolutely tank. If you thought the China news was bad, just imagine if it was the US where most of the crypto money kind of resides. So, and community and hype and all that stuff. So yeah, that would have been very bad. Yeah, no problem. So as of right now, I guess we're just kind of waiting to see, well, what's going to happen next. Like I said, I think the sell-off was inevitable. What's going on, Preezy? I think the sell-off was inevitable. I think because it wasn't so bad, people are still probably feeling a little okay. And we could see a bounce back to where we came from, maybe even a continuation, because the sell-off maybe wasn't as bad as people thought it would be. I don't do any mining right now, so I couldn't give a good mining recommendation. Sorry about that. But there's probably some other people in the chat though that do. But we are still not above the 200 EMA yet, so we do have to consider that. Yeah, Webull's just down. Let me go to TradingView. Good call though. We are bouncing. It looks like we might actually be above the 200 EMA now. Yep. So we're doing pretty decent. Bit of an inverse head and shoulders as well. So we could see a continuation here, and that would be cool to see us actually. Thank you, Shuba, and welcome back to the stream, Shuba. It would be good to see us do well here. I know, I have no position right now. I started scalping on my holding account because I got impatient. But I'll probably just, when I get some more confirmation, throw that back in and not mess with it anymore, and then just go back to my scalping account like I was doing. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't think this is really gonna last for very long. When did I find out I was gay? When did you find out I was gay? Because that's news to me. So yeah, I don't think that this is really gonna last. I think it's gonna keep going like back and forth, and then they're gonna have to figure out something, because it looks like Shelby's not gonna compromise if he doesn't get his military spending, and then the bill's just gonna get held up for eternity due to also the disagreement with the regulations, where it seemed like most people understood that it was ridiculous. So I think there's gonna be a lot of back and forth, and then an action later on. Curlink helium compatible miners, light spot miner, cal chip plug and go. Oh, I really want to get into mining though. So they think they could get 28 billion if it passes, but if it passes, it shuts down crypto. Yeah. Mariano, you're savage. It was just a, I mean, I don't know. Nice question, I guess. So they think they could get, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous to think that way. Let's do something that's going to destroy crypto and try and then get taxes off of it once nobody's using it anymore. Yeah, that makes sense. Exactly, Travis. Hey, what's up, Tito? What do you think is a good time to get back in Doge? I'd probably just be patient here and wait this one out. I never like to be the first one to do anything. It's kind of bad practice to try and jump the gun. Whether that's trying to buy the dip too soon or trying to time the top. I like to get in at confirmation and get out, you know, with some confirmation as well. And just right now, it's too soon. Like, the event just happened. We just saw a massive sell-off. This is our first part of the bounce up. I just want to see what's going to happen here. So, I mean, you could say, all right, well, we recovered back to the 200 EMA. Looks like we tested support and place a buy here if you want. But I still think, you know, there's a chance that we just fall right back down. I need some more. It needs some more time, in my opinion. There's a lot of people getting off work right about now. Eastern time, I've been off for an hour. But you've still got Central time. They're just getting off work. Pacific time, they're not even off yet. It's still like 3 o'clock there for them. They're going to get off work, check their Twitter, find out what happened. There's still a lot of time for the price to fluctuate pretty wildly here. And I just have no interest in jumping in for no reason. I want to be in for when big moves happen, not for just random volatility up or down. It all boils down to tomorrow's hearing. Sell, out, buy the dip, hold. Yep. It all boils down to what's going to actually be done. So, yeah, I am just going to wait. As long as things don't start looking insanely like a whole bunch of momentum. So just assume I'm in now. Will I get out or just wait and see? So I'm not in right now. I'm not. I am out, waiting and seeing. I did so. So I'm not in. I'm waiting. I just don't see a point in being in right now. So yesterday you guys were with me as I was trading on stream. Or was that Saturday? And so we had that fun move from like 22 cents all the way up to 28. I sold at 28. Told you guys what I was going to do next, which was potentially buy the 26 dip at the 200 EMA. It did come down. I bought 26 and then I sold 27 because it looked like it was running out of steam. And that means, you know, since then, Doge has not come back up to those levels. So the way to think about scalping, guys, it's not so much always capitalizing on every single move, but it could be eliminating the potential to lose. So think about it this way. I rode the wave all the way up to 28 and sold. That means I can buy back in anywhere from now to 28 and it'll be like I never sold. Which means I have nothing to lose by not being in. Because I played it smart that way. So if I buy in now, if I buy in at 26 or at 27, or even wait till it's back at 28 where I sold the first time, as long as I buy back in by then, I'm either making a little more money or I'm at the exact same spot, like I never left. So that, at this point, I don't want to buy back in until it looks like it's actually going to go back up, because why just randomly throw my money back in and then it's just going to dump another 5-10 cents. So or I could say I've already avoided 5 cents of loss, so why not just jump back in right now, and it doesn't matter if it goes up or down because I already negated 3 cents of loss that I would have taken and just pocketed and had to take the hit on if I didn't sell at 28. You can think of that either way, but it just means that I can just be patient and do whatever the heck I want right now. So I've decided that I'm going to go the route of just waiting and seeing, because overall the news is more negative than positive. And even though I'm thinking long-term positive, I would still like to see if there's some more negativity to play out here in the price action, and maybe I can get a better price. So thank you to Ahmed, thank you so much for the subscribe. And Foley, thank you. Thank you for supporting. Appreciate that. Do I have a position in AMP? I have only right now a position in Ethereum, which I'm about to sell because I only got that position so I could short. And looks like Ethereum's gas fees right now are about $138 per transaction. So I'm not going to be spending that fee just so I can take a short position. So, just consider me basically having no position. It's basically where I'm at. Because very soon I will also have no position in ETH. Momentarily. Let's check on AMP. Yeah, I don't have a position in AMP. I would like to, but I don't at the moment. Just because AMP does still kind of follow Bitcoin. As you can see here, it is at a little weird spot. Also under its 200 EMA. Even though the volatility isn't the same, it still kind of does. And if I just wait, if it does fall down further, I can get in at where I want to, which is closer to 5 cents. So that's my plan there. And AMP doesn't look like it's in a rush to move. It's going to move when it gets... there we go. It's going to move when it gets more adoption, and we should have some time there. Well. All right, so now some word on the Bitcoin. There's going to be conflicting news that people are getting in their Twitter feeds. They're going to be getting the amendment was not passed, and they're also going to be getting the breaking news. AMC is now accepting Bitcoin. I don't know. I think, you know, we could still see some continuation, but I will be waiting it out, guys. I'm not doing anything here. If anything, I'd probably just be selling and waiting. That's not advice. Of course, none of this is financial advice. I'm just telling you what I do. Hopefully Elon gets drunk tonight and goes on Twitter. Bobby says, I pulled all out at 26.5 and I'm waiting also. Nice. Smart. And we could see some moves here, but I'm not too interested. For me, it's the big moves. I take the big stuff. Can I check MTF? What is that? Is that a crypto? I don't even know what it is. So I don't know what my checking would do for you. But yeah, and I don't think that's what you're talking about. What is MTF? Doom, 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 doom. All right. Looks like Bitcoin's really trying to curl up here. See where Doge is. Doge is not really feeling it. MFT, okay. Mainframe. Fixed rate crypto lending. Oh, this looks brand new. Hi-Fi? Thank you, Mr. Hippo, for that sub. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support. Thank you guys for helping me get to my goal as well. Appreciate that. I think we can get 37.50. Pretty reasonable. Yeah, let's check it out here. It's you would think it's not, you would think it's good news, but what didn't pass was, yes, the regulation didn't pass, but the amendment got rejected. So if the amendment does not get passed and the regulation does still end up getting passed, that means that miners and validators and developers will be classified as brokers and will be required to report transaction data, detailed transaction reports back, which is impossible, which means basically it won't be legal. So being that there will be some sort of crypto regulation, inevitably we would want it to be the amended regulation, which pretty much just doesn't really change much. You know, brokers are brokers and are reported to report back, but not developers, not miners, not validators. And that would kind of, yes, there might be some additional taxes to those people or whatever. But we could still function and mine and develop software without it being illegal. So, yeah. Did I do any more research on Telcoin? I did not. I am very behind on all research. Sorry, guys. Maybe I'll try and do that tonight. I still have a list of all the ones I wanted to look up. Just have not had time. Let's see. Seems pretty decent. Relatively low market cap. I don't know if it has that much potential. There's quite a few tokens in this particular space. I don't know if it's my favorite for an investment. And I probably have to do more research to see why this one's actually better than the others, because there's a lot of DeFi crypto lending platforms that are up at this point. So I need to look and compare it to the others and see why Hi-Fi or MFT is actually better than some of the others I've seen. There's so many of these now. That's the way I look at it. I like to see something that's special, has a lot of potential, but that's also unique. And when it's in a crowded space, it kind of just becomes difficult sometimes. Not saying there's anything wrong with Hi-Fi, but I would need to actually dig more into it to figure out if it's actually one with potential. Hey, what's up, Ray? But it looks like, guys, I mean, we could see some more movement up here. We'll see. Hopefully you were able to get out anywhere from like 26 to 28, in which case you're not feeling any FOMO right now because you already locked in this profit. Now you watch the fall, and now you're just waiting to see if it comes back up to where you even sold in the first place. If not, I still wouldn't feel FOMO. There's not much going on here. There was some relatively bad news, even though we handled it pretty well. And we'll kind of have to see what shapes up tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure that's when the next hearing is, the actual like hearing. So could have another update. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm probably going to wrap up here in just a moment. Thank you all for supporting the stream. Looks like we got 70 people in here, which is awesome. Glad to see so many people here and interacting. All of you new people, don't forget, subscribe if you haven't. That way you can be back for tomorrow's stream, where we'll have some more info to share. And we'll probably do more technical analysis and talking about different coins, more so than just the sometimes boring but important regulations and stuff going on in the political space with crypto. But hope everybody has a great evening. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter at 2020 Tech Reviews if you want updates in between streams, or you can, if you want to interact with me more often and have more questions you'd like answered, you can join the Discord group by clicking join right next to the subscribe button right there. So then you get a link to the Discord. Yep. Have a good night, Jackie. Thanks for hanging out. Check out the link in the description at the top, guys, if you want to check out my store and get some Dogecoin apparel. It's pretty dope, if I do say so myself. And anyway, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening. Absolutely.